Winter cycling can be a pretty cold and wet experience in almost any corner of the globe. But that doesn't stop people getting out and enjoying it. There must be ways that you can make it more pleasurable.
Yeah, and some of them are pretty easy too. So here we're going to give you our top 7 tips for how to make your winter cycling warm, comfortable, and therefore more fun.
We go to the cafe now.
Yeah, my hands are freezing.
How about we kick off with the most obvious one first? You're not going to feel warm wearing your summer gear in the middle of winter.
No, so wrap up warm. A good system of inner and outer layers will help you to adapt your temperature based on the changing weather conditions.
Yeah, and the best basis in our experience is actually a really good thermal base layer, which you can then adapt your clothing on the top of quite easily.
Yeah, but thermal tights are also essential if you live somewhere really cold. There are all kinds of other accessories that come in useful, so headbands, neck warmers, overshoes, different kinds of gloves, thick thermal jackets.
And many companies, such as ASOS, have a full range of winter clothing now that uses specialist textiles that really do make a difference because they can be waterproof and windproof. And, you know, fabrics such as this have a really low volume and can be nice and aero, but offer incredible insulation.
Yeah, it's definitely made winter cycling a lot more enjoyable knowing that, well, you've got something for every condition really. Another top tip is to preheat your drinks and your shoes because your feet get cold pretty quick, I would say, in the winter, and a drink will warm you from the inside.
If you get wet, you will get cold. So if there's any chance of rain, sleet or snow, make sure you take a good waterproof jacket with you. But the only problem with waterproof jackets is that sometimes you get sweaty and then you get just as wet from the inside of the jacket.
Yeah, and with that in mind, it's probably worth thinking about a water-repellent layer instead, as these are potentially more breathable. Obviously, they're not going to cut it when the rain really starts to come down, but, well...
Yeah, but if it's really pouring down, you should be in the cafe anyway, really.
You know what? It's going to catch us out if we don't leave now.
Yeah, I think that cloud is threatening. Let's go for coffee.
Yep.
It might seem a little counterintuitive to try to not sweat in winter, but with all those warm layers on, if you do any hard work, you will work up a sweat, and then you'll get really cold and miserable on the next descent.
Yeah, instead, aim for a good base layer, like we mentioned before, and a layering system on top. That means you can unzip when your temperature starts to rise. Not only will this aid airflow, but it will also prevent you sweating too much, which will keep you warmer when your temperature starts to drop, or as Emma said, you go back down the next hill.
Because the blood flow to your extremities, i.e. your hands and feet, is reduced both when you're exercising and when you get cold, these parts of your body are at greater risk in the winter. Now, people have better or worse circulation. Personally, I have terrible circulation and I really struggle with cold hands in the winter, so a good quality pair of gloves and overshoes is absolutely invaluable to me.
You should also make sure that you're always prepared for the unexpected.
Yeah, definitely. If you prevent the unexpected happening, then you stand less chance of getting cold in the first place. You're out there, Emma. What do you want? I don't think I've got anything. Come on, let's go.
Remember to stay hydrated even in the winter. Just because you're not thirsty doesn't mean you don't need to drink. This might be easier for you with warm drinks, and you can even get thermally insulated bottles to keep your drinks warm. There is nothing as good as a sip of hot tea on a bike ride, and gives you a little temperature boost from the inside.
Yeah, one of the main reasons to stay hydrated, even in the winter, is that simply your body will not function correctly without it. If you don't drink, your body won't regulate your temperature as it should be.
And one of the main functions of your cardiovascular system is to pump warm blood around your body.
Kind of like a central heating system, really.
Yeah, or a central cooling system if you get it wrong.
Emma, this is my favourite one. Remember to eat. By topping up with little but frequent bites, you'll be keeping your blood sugar level stable, and by doing that, providing your body with good energy and warmth.
Yeah, because your body actually burns a lot of your fuel just staying warm, and if you get hypoglycemic, you will probably get cold.
Fancy a biscuit?
I would love a biscuit. Can I have both of them?
No, I want one. Another way of approaching this would be to plan a stop mid-ride where you can refuel on something warm.
And this is usually in a place that's also warm, so it's a great time to warm up your body and dry out any wet kit.
I guess you could always ride harder
in winter to stay warm, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. If it fits in your schedule, the winter is a great time to focus on longer, more sustainable efforts. And I say the longer, more sustainable ones because you really don't want to go outside, breathe in all that freezing cold air, and then linger for 3 minutes between your efforts.
So what you're saying is longer, slightly less intense intervals with shorter rest periods in between, because I guess you can always do the more intense work indoors on the turbo or the track.
Yeah, definitely. It's top tips right there.
Hopefully these tips will help you stay a little warmer when cycling in the winter, and if you have any ideas of your own you would like to share with us, leave them in the comments below.
And if you're after any quality winter kit, then why not check out the GCN shop? And if the weather's just really, really bad, why not check out one of our indoor training videos down here?
Make sure you give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel.